If you look at household savings, we know that savings by households are driven by only two things. The one is the ability to save, and the second one is the willingness to save. Now, very often you find that people that have the ability to save actually do not have the willingness to save. So they can save, but they don't save it because they prefer to spend. They prefer to, buy a fancy car or fancy TV or whatever, go travel overseas, whatever the case may be. And what you very often find is those people that can save but do not save, a couple of years into retirement, they discover that the kind of lifestyle that they had the previous 25 years, they couldn't actually afford. I always say to people, the fact that you have money doesn't actually mean you can afford to buy something. That is a very different thing. You only discover 5 years into retirement what you could afford the previous 25 years or not. So that's the one thing. The second issue is the ability to save. Now, there are lots of people out there that are unemployed, that have low levels of income, that simply do not have the ability to save. They barely make it through a month on their incomes, and they will never be able to save. So the only way to raise personal savings in South Africa is to get more people employed. We at the moment have 16 million people on the grant payment system, and we have 7 million individual taxpayers. That should be turned around. We should have 16 million taxpayers and 7 million receivers of grants. So the first thing is we need to improve the ability of people to save. And the way to do that is to raise the growth potential by the things I mentioned earlier, and in that way get more people to save. And then once you have people in an ability to save, you've got to convince them that they actually should save. And I think education on savings is a very important part of that. Because to me, what I see very often is people that are actually able to save that simply do not do it. And when they get 2 to 3 years from retirement, they then discover, I'm not sufficiently prepared for retirement, and I'm actually going to have a big dip in my living standard once I have actually retired. And therefore, I think the two answers is, number one, get the growth in the economy up, get the employment potential of the economy up, get more people in a position where they're able to save, and then educate people so that they are more willing to save.